o'clock, and so welcome. Welcome to our session on social and environmental justice study abroad programs. We have some exciting options to share with you all today. How this is going to work, we'll have well, if you want to go to the agenda side, Michelle, that would be great. So we have a lot of information to cover today. We're going to be giving our introductions as we kind of talk about different programs. And so for today, in terms of examples, we're going to go through different program options that are really strong for social and environmental justice. This is actually a huge theme. We've seen a lot of students really interested in this. And as I was going through all the different program options, I have to say there's some amazing opportunities for engagement and not just classroom learning, but applied learning when you're on site. So we're here to support you. Just to kind of get started, if you want to go to the next slide, I wanted to feature here at Western Washington University. My name is Hannah Nevitt. I'm a study abroad advisor, so I'm here to support you, and we have a great team that's here in the office willing to meet with you and connect with you and support you through this process. So I just wanted to share our contact information here right in the beginning with our email information. And as we go through, we have our wonderful colleagues and study abroad provider representatives here today to share some and to highlight some options that are really strong for you. So we'll go through those one by one. All right. And before we dive in, I just also wanted to share just some examples of what these themes or topics might be. Obviously, this is not an exclusive list. There's many beyond this, but just to kind of give you an idea of what are some of these courses or concepts or issues that the world is facing on a global scale, and that can look very different by region to region. So these might be some of the concepts that you might see within these programs that will be pretty awesome. All right, we'll dive in. So I also wanted to share some resources for you on how to find a program. So we're going to be featuring some very set ones today with our awesome provider programs. But in addition to that, I wanted to point out on our website, so on the Study Abroad website within the Education Abroad office, we have these awesome guides we've created, including one on social and environmental justice programs. So the snippet that I took here will give you an example. All of these guides are organized by region. So by region around the globe, it's going to have a link to these different programs, many of which we're going to feature today, and some example courses. So you could even do kind of a search, a key search for climate change or different development issues, and it's going to pull up programs that meet those academic goals for you. But it might be fun just to read through them because you might find a location and a program that you hadn't thought about before that really dives into a concept that you're interested in. So we have one for social and environmental justice. And I've also highlighted some links to some very unique majors and minors that Western offers. So if you are kind of undecided but know that these concepts are really important to you, we have a major or minor that might be of interest for you to consider that has coursework embedded within this. We've also featured some cost-effective programs. So these are programs organized by price point. And then we have all of our major advising pages. So if you click those QR codes there, it will bring you to options beyond that. So just wanted to point that out. And with that, I'll turn it over to Michelle.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much, Hannah, for giving us a great intro. My name is Michelle Walters. I work with AIFS Study Abroad, which is an affiliate organization of Western Washington. I've had the pleasure of getting to come visit y'all up in Bellingham a number of times, and cannot wait to be able to do so again. And I love that this is a topic that that is being highlighted during Ed Abroad Con, because it's a passion project of mine. Having these programs available from all different providers, all different options and opportunities, and highlighting them is something that I find really excited. So if you are here listening to us live, live or listening to the recording. I think it's fantastic that you're interested in these topics because I think a lot of what you're going to see is really important. And it's one of the things that we're sort of building on at AIFS right now. In various areas, looking at, environmental justice, looking at social justice, not necessarily as a response to what's been happening within the world, but also as a response to what's been happening in the world, and knowing that these issues that we're dealing with in the US are global, and it is really important for our students to understand them and to see them and to really delve into them. And so I'm going to be talking about a few summer options, but before I kind of get into the nitty-gritty of those programs, I do want to just give you a really quick overview of AIFS Abroad. So we've been around since the mid-60s. We work in about 35 different cities around the world. I am a product of AIFS Study Abroad. I studied at the University of Limerick while I was a student at Washington State. Had a fantastic experience and really was one of the most eye-opening experiences of my life. For our programs, we are open to undergraduate students. Fortunately, we don't have any grad programs available, but if you are an undergrad student through the summer after your senior year, you can go abroad on one of our programs. And we do have scholarships available. You can find all of that information on our website. Because there's so many of us talking today, I don't want to delve in too much about that, but you can kind of see here, when it comes to an AIFS program, what's included in our program option, our programs for all of them. We're kind of an all-inclusive program, so you can see all of our program fees online, and you can, figure out what fits best for you. And I do want to highlight the program to the photo to your left, maybe right, as one of the program photos that has been taken this semester. I am telling all of the students I've been talking to as we are preparing for summer and fall programs to rethink how you're looking at study abroad. It may not look the same as what you are, you may have seen in all the photos before, but there are opportunities out there, and I'm definitely excited that you're here to hear about them and to start planning for future opportunities. With that, I know that there's a lot of text on this one slide, but I do want to, talk about some summer opportunities that are available. To be completely honest, most of these multi-destination programs are going to be available in 2022, no longer open for 2021 due to some of the travel restrictions and challenges of COVID that COVID has brought us. But one thing that AIFS is doing at this point is really trying to create topic-driven summer programs that are multi-destination. So you're going to have the opportunity to have a comparative education. You can kind of see a list of the ones that we have listed there and take a look at, all the different, sessions and all the different topics. Some of the ones that I've been able to personally work on are a history program. So it's looking at women's rights and feminism over in the UK. The other one that I've been able to kind of help out with is the comparative healthcare program, which I think obviously is timely, but also looking at global healthcare and looking at the impact that we all have as a global world and how that can impact various healthcare systems. One program I do want to highlight that is running this summer, if you are still, looking for programs, is a Diversity in London program. And this is an option that I've also had the opportunity to kind of give a lot of input in. And so I'm sort of like pushing it as as something that I'm excited, but also as something that I think is a really neat opportunity. It's going to be a hands-on program. And I think that's what you'll see as I was looking through all of my colleagues' slides. You'll see a lot of really cool hands-on opportunities that are offered during the summer. And for us, this is one that I am particularly proud of because it is going to be something that a lot of the learning is outside of the classroom. I think with a lot of the topics that we're talking about today, when it comes to social and environmental justice, you can't necessarily stay in the classroom just to learn about them. And so we're trying to create as many hands-on opportunities as we possibly can. And this program in London, we're working with local organizations and local NGOs and groups to kind of really delve into topics that we have been talking about here in the US and helping students, see the global nature of racism, see the global nature of immigration, and really looking at these topics in depth from a different perspective, which I think is one of the best things about studying abroad. So you can check out our website. You can see all of these listed amongst other different program opportunities, but these are just a few of the ones that I wanted to highlight during my time with you all today. So with that, I will go ahead and hand it off to my colleague, Leanne.
Hey everyone, I'm Leanne. I represent API abroad. You can kind of see try to be as digestible as possible, but we work in over 42 cities and 20 countries doing study abroad, internship, and then virtual programs as well. So we have the Global Select for study abroad, global internship for internships, of course, and then we have also a lab series. So the lab series experience is great for those who want a collaborative opportunity with students from all over the world, and they'll be working on global UN sustainability goals focused on things like environmental studies, or it could be on specific topics on social change and human rights. So that's a really great one. If you are virtual right now, and we are virtual for the foreseeable future, this is a really good option if you're trying to get some hands-on experience, or quote unquote hands-on experience. But here are some of the programs that we wanted to highlight in terms of on-site opportunities. You can kind of see the list of options. Portugal in Lisbon, Portugal, is a general humanities, business, and social sciences, but there's going to be quite a bit of opportunities in terms of the social justice area. If you're looking for something, a unique perspective on colonization in Portugal, it's a good opportunity for that one. We have the deadlines in fall and spring as well. It's going to be a really good program if you're looking for something cost effective, and there are internships available as well, so, and volunteering opportunities. Then we have the multidisciplinary studies program in Krakow, Poland. It's also going to be focused on the social justice, but more geared toward the World War II experience of the Jewish population. So if you're looking for something in that regard and how that has changed the identity of a country who was massively involved in a huge cultural switch and change and evolution, that's a good option as well. And then the next slide, please. These two options here are going to be in Sevilla, Spain. They are actually some of the most popular opportunities at Western Washington University. And there's going to be kind of a blend of both the social justice and environmental justice opportunities in both of these programs. One goes to the University of Sevilla on the right, on the left, sorry. And then UPO, which is Universidad Pablo Olivide, on the right, and they're both going to be focused on various touch points. And the nice part about that program is that similar to what Michelle was talking about, we do the all-inclusive experiences where we do your housing, health and life insurance, COVID safety, all those things. But these programs here also include international travel when you do start the programs back up on campus. And these programs also have quarter options available in the fall quarter, and on the right we have those available fall quarter and spring quarter too. And then lastly, we have Barcelona, Spain. So for those who are interested in a larger city in Spain, this program is going to be more focused on the social justice area, and there's a winter quarter option, which is huge. So if you're looking for something for winter quarter, check that one out for 2022. And then we have on the right side, we have also global internships and customized internships. So if you are looking for anything like that, more hands-on professional development opportunities, we have those. And the lab series we kind of touched on before, that one is a collaborative opportunity. So if you're looking virtual or on site, we definitely have some options available for you. And if you want to chat, feel free to check my email out, or and it's lan.mar@apibroad.com. I can send it to you if you want it. And apibroad.com for more general information on our side.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Laura Madden, and I work for CEA Study Abroad, another affiliate partner of Western Washington's Education Abroad Office. have been for many years, and we're very excited to talk about this topic as my colleagues have expressed. So I'm going to whisk you away to Costa Rica, Chile, and Argentina for a couple of minutes. We are located in 22 total cities, but let's talk about these particular regions and what is available to you in these incredibly important topics. So next slide, please. All right, first up is we're going to be in Costa Rica. So San Jose is where CEA's program is. That is the capital of the country and very centrally located. So you can take advantage of all that country has to offer. You probably would have heard that it is well known for its biodiversity, but San Jose is a cosmopolitan city, so you can kind of get the best of both worlds. Really cool coursework and topics for you to dive into. What's really cool, so you'll be studying at Veritas University, and through our program at Veritas University, you can actually get a certificate in if you take themed courses together, and those topics are sustainability and environmental impact, social sciences and human rights in Latin America, there's global leadership, Latin American politics. So be sure if you apply to this program, you're interested in that you're talking about those things with our admissions counselors, but then you also will be working with our on-site staff and Veritas to make sure that you're enrolled in those courses. There's a list of courses, but this is just a small sampling of what those courses are: environmental impact and social development, sustainable lifestyles, gender and sustainability, and we also offer internship courses or internship programs in Costa Rica where you can really dive in to these topics in a career development, targeted, facilitated career development opportunity. So Costa Rica is great. We have summer and fall and winter programs. Our winter program is aligned to your winter quarter, so that's really exciting too. Next is we're going to Buenos Aires. Okay, so Buenos Aires is actually one of our study center locations. CEA has 7 study center locations. That means we have a center with classroom space and office space and lots of resources for you to use in addition to any of the resources that are available to the partner universities that we work with. So you can take courses at our study center, or you can also take courses at one of our 3 partner universities. These courses that you see here, the Gender and Value Politics course is offered at our study center. It's super cool. It's very comprehensive. It starts with colonial Latin America and discusses how the patriarchal society has developed in those eras, and then starts talking about the new activism that is seen very much when you're in Buenos Aires today. That isn't expansive for Latin America, but really, of course, you're going to be in Buenos Aires, so you're going to be working with NGOs and being introduced to the new activism that you'll see in the city of Buenos Aires. So we also have internship programs in Buenos Aires, which you can, we have a big network of NGO organizations, those kinds of community activism, so you can really get involved very much so in a career development way in Argentina. And the really cool thing is not only do we have study and internship programs in our semester, so we have a semester length program, so it's 12 to 16 week programs, so that would span over your winter and spring quarter if you were to go in our what we call the spring semester. But the summer internship only program aligns with the quarter program or the quarter calendar, so that program will start June 17th. Of course, we'll keep you posted that the program is open right now, but of course, as entry requirements are still very restricted, we will stay tuned if this summer is an option. If it isn't, our virtual internship program is also aligned to your quarter calendar. So for sure, be sure to check those out. Okay, next. Okay, Valparaiso, Chile. You may think Valparaiso is a sleepy beach town. It actually could have that vibe, but it also is the 2nd largest metropolitan city in Chile. So it is a very exciting place to live, and there's lots of really cool courses that you could be taking with our partner university there. PUC Valparaiso is what it's called. It's a large university, 14,000 students with many international students studying there as well. This course actually in particular, this resistance, appropriation, and sustainability. So this is actually almost like a fieldwork course where you're gonna be going out into the communities of the Mapuche people in Santiago and Viña del Mar and Valparaiso, and it is a really hands-on opportunity for you to be understanding the interaction of those cultures with the other Latin American, more modernized cultures in Valparaiso. So very cool. We don't offer internships in Chile, but still something that you should keep in mind. And these courses are all offered in both the summer or the fall and winter spring programs. And there's lots of courses or credits to be had by being a quarter school to take a 16 to 20 week program. And that is all I have for you today. Our website is on the bottom, and I'll be sure to have my contact information available to you. Thanks.
Hello, everybody. My name is Colton, and I am yet another person that is hoping to tell you about some of our programs. I'm specifically representing ISA, which stands for International Studies Abroad. And just to pause quickly, as you can see, we all do really good things and really helpful things. And so make sure that you go through all of your options, just because the right fit is probably not going to be immediately apparent. So take some time and really delve in and do as much research as you can. I went ahead and put my email address in the chat, and I'm just going to go through these programs relatively quickly and then tell you a little bit more about what we always include along with our programs. So the first one that we have listed there is the study center that we have in Morocco. Morocco is an absolutely magical country. I have not spent a ton of time there, but I've been there for long enough that I know that it's very unique, and you'll find some things in Morocco that are not very easy to find other places in the world. So a couple of the course highlights that I can think of, and this is a short link to get to our Morocco program. A couple of the course highlights would be migration and transnationalism in Morocco, or identity, integration, and human rights. Those are really, really interesting courses. Also, three religions, three peoples, about the three monotheistic religions that operate actively within Morocco. It's kind of a fascinating study on culture that informs a lot of other aspects of culture. The next one we have on there is in South Africa, the University of the Western Cape. The course highlights that I have for that one specifically would be the studies in modern imperialism. Who better to talk about that than South Africa? Like, that's a perfect setting to talk about that sort of a conversation. And gender in South African politics and culture also stood out to me as particularly relevant to the location. I really think that as much as possible, you should try to focus on the courses that are specifically relevant to the location where you go when you go abroad. And then the last one on this slide is another South African university, Nelson Mandela University. This one has some development issues in South Africa. That's one of the courses that you can take. But it goes a little bit into the environmental side of things too. Environmental economics is one, environmental law, environmental health and management and information systems. There's a lot of like deep knowledge courses on the environment available at that particular university. So now the next slide, we've got the Dominican Republic. And so that university is Pontificia Universidad Católica Madre y Maestra. There's my Spanish for the day. Did okay, I think. And so the courses, there's not as many courses available at this particular institution, but two that stood out that were particularly relevant here, gender and society in the Hispanic Caribbean. What better place to learn about that than, in fact, in the Hispanic Caribbean? And then we have some community service and community integration opportunities there too, that you would be able to explore when you're looking at programs. The next one, kind of continuing on the same theme, is Florence University of the Arts in Italy. The course that I thought sounded absolutely fascinating was Ethics, Justice in Food Systems, just because that's something that doesn't always get considered, but it's a huge piece of the larger social justice conversation, because we all need to eat. It's a base level need and a base level desire. And so it's really interesting to look at that through that lens. The other one is an internship that's offered through Florence University of the Arts specifically, a preclinical research in dependence and abuse, you're going more down the counseling path or something along those lines, that'd be a really fascinating one to explore. And then lastly, for the program highlights, is Universidad de Granada in Spain. And this particular program has feminism through cinema in the Mediterranean basin. That course looks awesome. And then approaching local self-sustainable development, more on the thinking small and developing small and keeping things local sort of speed. So on the next slide, we've got quite a few different things that show the types of services that we provide. And so I'm going to very quickly run through them, but I won't spend a whole lot of time. Some of these are just really obvious, like I should hope that any of us are including tuition at your host university as part of the program fee. If we're not, there's something wrong. And then other than that, like housing and meals are included for most programs. We'll pick you up at the airport, have comprehensive advising and support with both that and health and safety. We'll help you with the visa because that can be complex. We have full-time resident staff at every single one of our sites. And so there's going to be a resident director whose sole responsibility is to make sure that the study abroad students are well taken care of. And we have offices that correspond to those, as well as internet access, excursions, cultural activities. Medical insurance is included in each of the programs, as is obviously the official transcript from the university that you attend. And we'll give you some orientations to make sure that you know what's going on. Our excursions and cultural activities run through what we call the discovery model, which is just a way to take the extracurricular and be intentional about it and to learn as much as possible from that. And then we obviously offer scholarship opportunities, just like all of us do, and professional development opportunities as well. And so really, if you remember anything that I said, remember that the thing that we try to do, that we make a concerted effort to do, is to make study abroad as easy as possible. It's inherently complicated. We try to make it a little bit easier. And that is all.
Hello again. I'm still Michelle, but I am going to be filling in for my colleague Shun Yanagisha, who couldn't make it onto the panel today. And I'm just briefly going to be talking about these programs, and her contact information will be at the end of the presentation, so any specific questions should be directed towards her. But SIT stands for the School for International Training, which is a graduate institute based in Vermont, but they run undergraduate study abroad programs. Fun fact, I learned that they were initially a Peace Corps training center in the early 60s. The bullets listed here are basically the features and characteristics of an SIT program and what kind of makes them unique. All SIT programs have a theme that fall under one of 7 critical global issues, the framework which aligns them well with the topics that we are talking about today, and they do a lot with social justice and environmental justice. It's actually one of the main underlying philosophies of the organization. As you can kind of see here, these are just examples of some of the programs that they have and that they offer. Oh, too fast, hold on. And so they do programs in person during the summer and semester, but they also have virtual internships that are available both this summer and for the following semesters. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to Joanne.
Unmute. Hi, everyone. My name is Johanna Moxley. I'm a University Relations Coordinator at the USAC Study Abroad Office, or University Studies Abroad Consortium. I'm also a USAC alumna myself. I studied abroad in Costa Rica and Spain for a semester at each program, so I've seen it through many angles. And I'm also a product of our organization, as Michelle said earlier today. But we are a nonprofit university-based organization. We're actually located at the University of Nevada, Reno. That's where we're physically located. So we have a lot of ties through different universities here in the United States. And we really focus on offering high quality academic course opportunities for you guys. And also keeping those opportunities very affordable for you. We try to keep our fees low, and so one thing that USAC does offer a lot of things that are included in our programs, but we're not necessarily all inclusive as some of the other programs to give you guys a little bit more flexibility around your guys' budgets, give you guys some choices and selections on things that you want to add or change depending on your budgets and things like that. So that is one of our main focuses as an organization. But we do offer a lot of support, and I think especially right now, you guys are probably needing that more than ever. Study abroad is difficult as it is. But with everything happening, you know, the extra support is really going to benefit you guys. And we have staff members in our office here and abroad. Many of them have been with USAC for, you know, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. And so they really know how to take really good care of you guys, and they really want to maximize the experience for you guys. We do have a student from Western who's actually abroad on our Thailand program, and this is a picture from our welcome there. And so we are sending students abroad. We do have some students abroad. They are our little pioneers that are getting back out there in COVID. And so you guys can make this happen. And on the bottom of this slide, there are some resources through our website. Our blog is really great too, has some student fed stories and even some stories from our COVID pioneers out there, and then my email as well. So, and next slide. Okay, and so a couple of programs that I'm just going to highlight for USAC. We have a handful of programs here. We do have some other programs that could work for you guys as well. We've got 2 programs in Africa. I think that's definitely an excellent continent for social and environmental justice for sure. There's a lot of great opportunities. So we have one program at the University of Ghana in Accra, and there are some lists of some unique courses that you might be interested in taking. We have a Ghanaian culture and natural resources field study where you get to do a little bit more hands-on learning through that course as well. A lot of our courses, they do field trips and other activities as a part of the course. So you guys get kind of some unique exposure on all of these programs. And in Ghana, they have a lot of service learning as well as some internships on the ground and virtually. And so that program has done a lot of opportunity to engage you guys into the local community, different organizations, you know, where you can really give back while you guys are participating on the study abroad programs as well. We have another program in Stellenbosch in South Africa, so another location there in Africa. And again, they have a lot with social justice, especially in regards to gender, you know, understanding HIV in Africa, unemployment and inequality. That's an excellent location for a lot of those type of opportunities. And the university there, they're very hands-on. They have a Matey Buddies program where you guys can get to know some locals and engage with them in different activities and things like that. They have the opportunity to do, you know, like a safari and lots of volunteer opportunities at that location as well. I think our Africa programs, especially students that get involved there, and especially with these majors, you guys tend to want to give back a little bit while you guys are studying abroad at these different host countries. And I think taking advantage of a lot of those opportunities is really valuable there. Another program we have is in our Bengaluru program in India at Christ University. And this program also has a field study, this case class in gender in India, population and poverty field study. There's that Gandhi and nonviolent protests, pollution and environmental challenges, which of course in India is a huge concern for them right now. And so it's an excellent location to be for a lot of these topics. They also have a great volunteering opportunity. There's a student-run society there on campus, and they run a program where students can get involved in the local community and do some volunteering and things like that as well. And that program, we have an excellent resident director on site, Smriti, who really also takes good care of you guys there on the ground too. And then one other partner that we work with in Sweden at Linnaeus University, I cannot pronounce the city, the Växjö. My pronunciation is terrible. Kalmar is another one. There's 2 cities that university works at. And they especially have a lot of things with ecology and the oceans and water and things like that. So kind of a little bit different with sustainability. Also even looking at, you know, how they use different products in building and things like that. So it's kind of a different aspect there. And they have a lot of unique activities as well that you guys can participate in. So those are kind of some of the ones that I would like to highlight. I think that's it for me.
And here's our contact info, but I'll shoot it back over to Hannah if she has anything else she wants to say.
Yeah, so thanks everyone for sharing. This is some of the contact information here as well. Since we went through information, I know that seemed like a lot all at once. I did want to take a chance to open it up for any questions. So if you have questions about study abroad in general, about some of these concepts, I welcome you to, if you want to turn your cameras on or off or use the chat feature to shoot some questions at us, depending on things. So we welcome that. Okay, well, you're welcome to, like I said, put questions in the chat for us. And I think since we have a little bit of time, I was just going to visually, maybe I could share screen and then show you our major advising pages and just kind of visually get a sense of some of this content as well. All right. So I wanted to share, again, on our website, we've put together these awesome major advising pages, and we're always working on these and developing them. So if you don't see anthropology, for example, we're working on it. But I wanted to feature, again, you can search by different majors, and the one I wanted to focus on as it relates to this session is the social and environmental justice programs feature. And I like it because it's going to give you some examples of some different programs of study that might be encompassing of some of your interests. And we have some great majors and minors that have this embedded within it. So there's links, and when you click on these, they're actually going to show you the program of study. So so they'll give you names of example courses. So that kind of helps you wrap around, okay, well, if I'm looking for a climate change related course or sustainability, gender studies, you can kind of write those down, so then you're making those alignments with these programs and courses on these awesome programs we talked about today. So for example, you can search by region. And we also have virtual internships featured on here. So you can still have that international experience on your resume and that immersion piece from a virtual component. And then I've also featured some different grants and scholarships that have some great funding opportunities for you that are relative to this. So, and I like it because it gives you some examples of classes. I know it gets me inspired to think about different concepts and courses. And as we were saying, it's more than just taking courses in a classroom component, but you have these discussions in the classroom and then also in your daily life. There's an applied factor to these, so you can see it in front of you. Locals of these communities are going to be talking about it. You're going to see these concepts on the news. It's going to feel very present for you. And so, for example, some of these that we've featured today are on here. And so let's say you're interested in going to South America. It's going to highlight some options for you. So if you know your region specific, this is a great way. And then these link right to the program provider's website. So you can look at housing and inclusions and all the different internship opportunities that they might offer. And if they mention some have language, some might share that, if they're offered in English or Spanish, for example, in South America. But it might put locations and programs on your radar that maybe you hadn't thought about before. So I just wanted to highlight this as a resource for you. And this isn't there's more than beyond this, obviously, which is great to see that this is something of value and something that's trending with students and something we're all working towards. In addition to that, I wanted to share our contact information on our website. So if we click on our directory, there's information to our staff here. And so if you're interested and you want to go through some options, or maybe you're just overwhelmed, for example, you can click on our information and then make a Calendly appointment here. So this is a real way to kind of get on our calendar as well. Okay, so any other questions for our content and our lovely panelists today? Okay. We're good. Thanks, everyone.